the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real. I am your host, Ryan Hudson, and joined with me is your co-host, the Lisan Gaib. Lisan, how do you say this?
You don't, because I'm not that guy.
The Lisan Gaib.
Jason
not it.
Deeds.
It's not Gaib.
Gaib.
There's a lot of fun made-up titles in this movie.
Yeah, it's one of the many things that makes Dune amazing.
Yeah, the version I have has a list of words in the back.
Yeah.
Jason Deeds.
I said that already.
I know.
Jason Deeds.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I force Jason to watch big blockbuster movies he's refused to watch because he didn't think they were worth his time.
Except for this case, I revolted, and now we're watching big blockbuster movies that I picked. So,
but you also didn't watch this.
I did
because
too.
You didn't
watch
think
this.
they were worth your time. Because you didn't think it was worth your time.
I didn't until now. That's
right.
True. Okay. Dang it. Curse you, Ryan.
But you didn't watch this one because you love the book so much. That's why you didn't watch Dune.
Yes, that is correct.
So it's a little different than most movies.
Yeah, that's true.
We are here to ask if this movie has anything deep to say. We are two English language arts high school teachers with graduate degrees, and we attempt to use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, ethics, and film studies and ethics in our films, and push you, the listener, to think critically about your entertainment.
Truth.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, indeed.
We love you.
We do.
It does help us out if you can like
I don't know if we can say that, because it hasn't helped us out yet.
No, but it would, in theory.
The theory, or the 30 of you that are constant listeners, we're so grateful for you guys. I mean, it would help us to get mics that don't go if you shared it with literally everyone you know, and they all started listening, and then we got paid to do this.
There are a few episodes that the audio isn't the best.
Yeah, a lot. By a few, he means probably a third or so.
Well, now we know how to do a few things editing-wise and stuff. We have just watched the 2021 film Dune, Part 1.
Part 1.
This movie was directed by a man named Denis Villeneuve. He is a French-Canadian film director. And I just kind of wanted to talk about where this guy came from, because I think he is excellent. And he's the future of cinema in a way.
Okay.
Denis Villeneuve, he had a short film. His first few movies are all French films. And I admittedly have not seen these ones. But his first movie that kind of broke, I guess, the mold into the zeitgeist where everyone started seeing it is a movie from 2010 called Incendies, which I have seen, and it is very upsetting. It's definitely a contender for, I need to watch this one once, and I'm good. But
why does that launch his career?
Huh?
Why would that launch his career?
Because it's well made. It's well done.
But messed up. Yeah,
it is. Then he makes an English film shortly after called Prisoners, which I know you've seen.
Oh, he's that guy.
It's got Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, and that is in contention for the least fun time you can have in a movie.
But still be awed by it.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible.
That is a great movie.
A hard watch, but incredible.
I agree. Yep.
His next movie is a weird movie. It's called Enemy. So it's a big step out of traditional storytelling, because Enemy is easily into art house land. I watched it because I saw a quote from one of the actors. He said that the director told all the actors, "Do not talk about what the spiders mean." And I'm like,
oh, I remember that movie.
And I think it's well done. It's definitely well done. Got, once again, material in it that is not going to be. It's not going to sit well with everyone type of thing. Some dark stuff, yada yada. Also, a ending I think about all the time, if I'm being honest. Partially because it's so weird. Anyway, but then he goes back into kind of more mainstream territory with Sicario.
Okay.
And it's here's, as opposed to Enemy, here's our characters, here's what everyone's goal is. It's clear to understand what's happening and everything. It's got Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, Emily Blunt. It's a well done movie.
I think I've seen that one.
I think you have too. It's the American government goes into do something with the drug cartel in Mexico.
That doesn't really narrow it down much.
Oh. Okay, but then his first step into true science fiction, which will lead him into Dune, is Arrival from 2016, which is amazing. It's like a masterpiece. Yeah. It looks like, and you can see the seeds that he's planting in his style that pay off in dividends in Dune. Like, I think of Arrival, there's these big alien spaceships, and you can see these big wide vistas, and one of the things that makes this movie Dune so amazing, big things look big. Yeah. And there's a lot of big things in Dune. Yep. And you can see that happening in Arrival. Yeah. Arrival gets critically acclaimed, and it kind of gives him this blank check status where he makes the Blade Runner sequel, Blade Runner 2049. It's about 3 hours long, and it did not do well financially at all. Even though everyone who saw it, or most critics, say, this is worthy successor of the Blade Runner movie. And I think it's amazing and beautiful and well worth your time, especially if you like Blade Runner. Like, it's not like a needless sequel like you might assume. It's definitely made with love and care, basically.
Cool.
And then, of course, even though that movie was not financially successful, Dune is his next film. And then Dune Part 2, and it looks like Dune 3. And I don't think he was going to make all three back-to-back, but basically, Dune came out 2021. We're still kind of trying to revive the theater and film from the pandemic, basically. And it's like, hey, Dune is coming out. And depending on how well it does, we'll see if it even gets the second one, let alone the trilogy. But Dune not only does well with critics and audiences, it makes enough. It's like, okay, yes, Dune is coming. So I think Denis Villeneuve is like, no, okay, I'm seeing all the love that's coming from Dune. I will make Dune 2 right immediately, basically.
Yeah, cool.
But there was a chance he would have made another movie or something in between. I'm glad he didn't, because this is a half of a story. Yeah. It's half the novel. At least for these Dune 1 and 2, we need the story of Dune, the novel, first, before part 3, which is the next book in the book series and stuff.
I agree. So, Ryan, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Would you consider Dune Part 2 a sequel?
Well, it's kind of weird because it is, by all accounts,
just
a
yes
part
or
2.
No. Yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I would not consider it a sequel.
But it's another movie in the series.
But it's a obvious continuation of the story.
Yeah.
It's even, as you have already said, and we have audio record of, it's the second part of a single novel.
Yeah, but
therefore, it is a continuation and not a sequel. So the next time you want to explain my view of sequels to somebody else, you can use Dune as the linchpin of my argument.
But you don't count Star Wars as sequels? Was that part of your argument? Wow, that sigh. The sigh heard around the world.
We've been over this infinity of times.
All right.
I just wanted to get you to say that Dune Part 2 was a sequel, and it very clearly is not a sequel.
I know, but
it is simply the second half of the story.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, get wrecked. And let's move on.
I guess, but it is it's like a whole other movie.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, that is true. Back to the Futures are sequels. Those are sequels.
But part 2 and 3 ends with a continuation. The story continues right where it left off.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe they aren't. Back to the Future 2 ends with him getting the letter, I'm back in the past. Part 3 starts with...
That's true. So maybe it is a sequel and a continuation in one series.
I mean, we said this in Pirates of the Caribbean. There are a few trilogies where number 1 was so good and popular, big, whatever, that they made 2 and 3 back to back.
Right.
Back to the Future, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars,
So maybe those
The Matrix.
are examples of sequels that are also continuations.
Yeah, maybe. All of those are basically the continuations more so than... Anyway, but you're right.
Wait,
but
finish that thought.
they're continuations
Because I would
more
love
so...
to have some audio record of this. They're continuations more so
than sequels that were never planned or just like when
I
they
see.
add
So
on to them.
there is some kind of difference that you're noticing there finally between
It's
sequels
kind of like
and
how in
continuations.
Harry Potter, a series we'll be covering sooner rather than later, how
Those
they're
are
continuations.
I agree. Those are not sequels.
Oh, wow. I guess...
They're not. How
All right.
could they be?
I don't know.
They're continuations of an entire story
Yeah.
that was written before they started, and all of the books linked together,
Yeah.
and there is plot lines that carry through,
Yeah.
characters that carry through, events that impact later movies, and events that happen that impact earlier movies. Those are continuations of a story.
That's true.
Can you please, I'm begging you,
I'm
not cut any of the last 5 minutes out of this.
All right.
I'm
I
begging
won't.
you. Okay, let's
So-
move on now.
So I think, can we start
Huh.
with your love for Dune? At one point, you told me Star Wars for most people is how you view Dune for you.
Yeah, like the Star Wars fanatic,
Yeah.
weird people. That's how I am. I'm a
People
fanatic,
who like Star Wars.
fanatic, weird person for Dune. Like I've read Dune. I have no idea, a dozen times or
Yeah.
more. I think it is a masterwork. I think it's probably the best at its time. It certainly was the best piece of science fiction ever written.
Did it come out 50s or 60s?
And I don't know. But I don't think, to my knowledge, that there has been another book as rich in every way, like even science fiction especially, but even outside of science fiction. Like Dune is such a massively complex, interwoven, every detail of this novel has been thought out and carefully put in place and then woven together.
Yeah.
And it is a magnificent. I would put it on the top of my, best 10 books ever written.
Yeah.
Not the top maybe, but it is in my list of the best 10 books ever written.
You've read the original
I
six,
have read the
think?
first 3.
Because I know the original author wrote 5 or 6, and then
6,
his
yeah.
son is still writing
Just
them.
riding
He
the
has
gravy
written
train.
20 of them or
Yeah.
something. No one
But-
cares about those.
But I mean, I don't know, even between Dune and Dune Messiah and Children of Dune,
Yeah, because it goes on past Paul into like,
Right.
his children and stuff.
I got to Paul at like the end of Paul, and I was like, I want to stop there.
Yeah.
But I don't even have words to express how intricate this book is. There's like complete mythologies for all of the houses involved in here. There's like the historical record that influences everything that's
Yeah.
going on.
It's kind of like Tolkien. In Tolkien.
Yeah, it's like if Tolkien were a good writer and actually was successfully in. But okay, we can compare it to Tolkien.
Yeah.
So at no point in the book novel Dune are you like subjected to.
Yeah.
And
Walking.
he could have done it easily, walking across the desert for 30 pages, and where we're describing all the sand formations and the little rodent things, and oh look, there's a rock that breaks the monotony, and oh let's crest this hill, maybe we're there. Oh no, more sand dunes, and describing the shape of all the sand dunes. If Tolkien had written Dune, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
He did not, thankfully, write Dune.
Yeah.
So the politics in this are so intricate. Every character is, like, I would say every character is very round and dynamic, even minor characters. And they all have their own drives and desires, and sometimes they help each other and fit together. Sometimes they conflict with each other.
I would argue the movie reflects a lot of that.
So, yes, the one... Okay, I will admit, I am very glad that I watched this movie.
Yeah.
I have a hatred for movies made from books that I love.
Yeah, I mean, that's not like most people I think are the same.
Most, literature lovers, yes.
My imagination's better than that.
Yes. Well, literally the last movie before this one that I watched made from a book that I loved was Ender's Game. And I was so angry at that movie that's when I swore off all movies made from books that I love.
Yeah.
Until I desperately had to get out of freaking Harry Potter, and so I agreed. That was the cherry that I held out or the carrot I held out for Ryan, and I tricked him into postponing Harry Potter.
Jokes on you, I like this movie.
That's fine. I don't care. Harry Potter's in the future still.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yes. So the intricacies of the inter-house politics, but also the politics within the houses.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie did it as well as the book, but I don't think any movie could do it because it's just so tightly woven, and there's so many shifting loyalties in the novel that I felt like this movie did as good a job as is possible to do in a film.
Because
with that,
for film, you can't get too bogged down in exposition stuff.
Right.
There's already so many new words as it is,
right,
and things that the movie has to catch you up immediately on.
Yep.
And we'll talk a little about the David Lynch Dune movie.
No, we won't.
Do you remember in the 80s David Lynch film how they got all the exposition across right away?
I don't.
Let me tell you. The princess character literally just stares into the camera and tells you stuff.
Okay, cool.
This movie does it. It helps that I've seen it before and I've read the book, because I know there are people that still are like, what's going on? Who are these guys? But the movie starts out like, this is a planet with spice.
Right.
These guys have been on here harvesting it. They're getting shipped away. Those are the Harkonians or the Harkonnens. Now a new family's coming in to take over. That's all you need to know. But you see a lot of it happening, as opposed to one character staring directly at you and just telling you, and here's like Atreides, Harkonians, Bene Gesserits, like all right, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can't get all of the details in a film because it'd be too much essentially.
Yeah, it would be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a pretty good job of that. That was. I'm not gonna say it's a con, but that was just one thing that I noticed and I guess kind of gave a pass on. But and if you listeners, if you haven't read it, that probably sounds boring and like something. Oh, why would I want to look all these political intrigues? But it's so well done. Like it's just a part of the life of the characters in this novel. Yeah. It's not separable in any way. Like if you are a part of House Atreides, you live it. You live the politics. You are immersed in it, and it's just you breathe it. And same thing with the Harkonnens. Same thing with. They didn't do a terribly good job with the Emperor. I didn't.
Well, you don't even see the Emperor in this movie.
Right, but like even the menace of it or the backstabbing of it, I
guess here's the thing I was thinking about, because this book came out and it's impossible to deny a huge influence on Star Wars.
On all science fiction after it, yeah.
But like Star Wars, a sand planet, one boy,
right,
an evil emperor, there's a lot of direct inspirations. But now we've kind of gone in a weird circle where it's like people now know Star Wars. When this movie comes out, if this is based on a book before Star Wars, I can now see the connections. Yeah. So I think they're making a little. Let's step a little bit away from the Star Wars stuff. Yeah. We will see the Emperor in part 2.
Spoilers.
Oh well, the Emperor is around. He's. I know.
Yeah.
But they have to say, this Baron guy, he's evil. He's not the Emperor.
Right.
He's the Baron,
Yeah. The Baron is another... I don't have really cons for this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was magnificent and very well done. I went into this movie. I don't usually go into movies for this prepared to hate it. I try to be as open-minded as I can. I learned my lesson in the first 7 or 8 Marvel movies that if you go in prepared to hate it and look for things to hate, you'll find it. So I tried to shift but I went into this one prepared to hate it because it's from one of my absolute favorite books, and I was looking for reasons to hate it, and I really didn't find any at all.
Yeah.
But Baron Harkonnen in this movie, even though it's Skarsgård, I don't feel like he was as evil as he needed to be.
I don't know.
In the novel, he's
disgusting.
Just a disgusting, evil, just horrible person. In here, I just felt like he was fat and gross. And I mean, he does give the order, kill everyone or whatever. But
you know, he gets enough stuff. It's like I forget what he says to the Bene Gesserit lady, and he's like, obviously we're not gonna do that. Turns around, yeah, we're gonna do that.
Right.
You know.
But,
I don't know. I think there's.
I don't know. So that is the one thing that I think David Lynch did better in his version than this did. Like Baron Harkonnen in the David Lynch version he's evil.
He's like covered in boils and stuff.
He's gross,
yeah.
which he's supposed to be, but he's also obviously evil. Like in the David Lynch version, our introduction to Harkonnen is like he has some bring in this slave boy who's got this like ripcord in his chest, and the Baron goes up to him and he's talking to him like he's a friend of his, and oh yeah, I love you, I'm grateful for your service or whatever, and then he just randomly pulls the ripcord out of this guy's heart and drinks his blood. That's Baron Harkonnen from the novel. I mean, we didn't get that, and that's okay. There's a lot other things that they did very, very well in this film. They did a great job with the Fremen. I feel like even when we don't really know much about them, we can get, like, this film gives us a sense of their religion and their, like, it's not a worship of Dune, it's not a worship of the worm, but it really kind of is. And we get a sense of that, even though they don't explain any of it, even though there's no exposition about them really other than their sand walk that they do. That was magnificent. Like we feel who they are even though we don't, it's never spelled out. That was really good. I'm just rambling. I was shocked at how much I liked it. Actually, I'll even tell you this is the first movie of the 95 that we've watched where at one point I forgot I was supposed to be taking notes and preparing for a podcast, and I just watched like the last 25 minutes of this movie. It was just beautiful and so well done. And then I got done and the credits were, and I looked down and my note sheet was there, and I hadn't written anything for like 25 minutes. Oh crap. So very good movie. Very, very good.
I like this movie. I once showed it to a film class a couple years ago. For one, we're like, we got to prepare for Dune 2 coming out. But, like, I was surprised how many of the students just found it slow and boring.
Wow.
It is slow, but I also think it's deliberately slow.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it needs to...
It's political machinery moving.
Right, yeah. But I think it's hard to deny that everything just looks incredible. Like I said, big things look big. Like, there's big giant worms, big giant spaceships. But then there's also, like... There's that part nearest the end where they're in this big open room, and there's just some guys sitting in a little circle, and it's like, look how big everything looks, and that's why it really, really benefits when you see a movie like this, like in the theater, and where it's just like, wow, look at everything.
The scope of it.
It benefits there. But there's a fancy word which we've talked about before. It's a classic film studies phrase, mise-en-scène. I seem to remember that. Putting on the stage, where it's everything you see, basically. And mise-en-scène encompasses everything from sets to costumes to props to hair and makeup and costumes, but to lighting and color, even where you put characters, how you frame characters, stuff like that. Everything looks so cool in this film.
Yeah.
Like there's a part where they're going to go do the special test with Paul, and it's just these women in these big black robes getting out of the spaceship. It looks like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, not technically
Also,
not
it's
Renaissance.
These women, those are the Bene Gesserits.
The Bene Gesserits.
Okay, just
Also, it's not
proper
Renaissance
respect. Come on.
as so much it is Baroque style.
Oh
but
wow!
You know what I
Look
mean?
at you. I don't even know the difference.
Oh well, the Renaissance is more interested in probably like the natural look, where Baroque is more like dramatic look. You know,
Huh?
if you think of the Michelangelo's David compared to the other David statue, whose name of artist I cannot think of right now, but it post Throne Stone. Anyway. And it just,
I didn't know that. So now
more
I've
darker, more realistic looking. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. But, like, the costumes. Like I said, the Fremen, you get a lot of who they are, what they are, based on their costumes alone.
Yeah.
The whole setting of the Atreides planet, so much of this movie, the story is being told by what you see.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, even like when they arrive to Arrakis and like Jessica's wearing this just elaborate costume. Like, oh, that must be for ceremonies or special occasions. It's like nothing I've seen before. All of these things. And like, it's so cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only other science fiction comparison we have is Star Wars.
Kinda.
In what we've covered.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I think this, in terms of attention to detail and using every detail as a part of the storytelling, I think this blows Star Wars away.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to appreciate in Star Wars.
Well, right.
Yeah,
I'm just
obviously.
specifically the attention to detail, and every detail is working
Yeah.
to tell the story rather than, oh, that looks cool, it's part of the cantina kind of thing.
You're right. And something I've never known, there's a video I looked up just to watch. There's an interview with the editor of this film. I mean, like, obviously, like I said, the big scoping things, but also something I've never really truly noticed in particular, he called it sensory shots. All throughout this movie, you just get a sense of what the world feels like.
Yeah.
And it affects how you are watching it, even subconsciously. So, like, Paul putting his hand in water.
Yeah.
And it's part of them leaving the planet type of thing. It's just mixed in, kind of like this montage. Feeling the sand with hands, picking up a bug. Even, like,
Watching
Duke.
the spice flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you can feel the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if the sequel even does this as much as this one does. But it's just... It's all sensory.
Yeah.
And it's mixed in with all the other shots and stuff. It all works together, and whether you realize it or not, it's affecting you, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Paul gets the spice, you see like the stuff floating in the air. We don't really understand maybe what it tastes like or smells like or whatever, but you understand that it is there, you know?
Yeah. And
It's-
how he got dosed and
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of those things. It's so cool.
like that scene is one of the scenes. Actually, there's so many scenes in here that are just like awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
But like that scene, I just loved how it went because it's focused in tight on Paul. He's kneeling next to this enormous harvester.
Yeah.
And Gurney comes and grabs him, come on, blah, blah, whatever. And then as we pull out, the harvester is still massive, and we see these little ant-like things. And
Yeah.
then the worm shows up, and it's like so much bigger than this freaking harvester that
Yeah.
it just like it's like swallowing a raisin or something. That is so good, and he does that over and over. This is what you were talking about, the bigness and the size of things. That's just a perfect. Like it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm showing you how big the worms are, but functionally that's what he's doing.
And like I
And
guess
it's so seamless.
a comparison to Star Wars, we get a bunch of big spaceships, and they are big technically, and we get sometimes a good sense of scale.
Yeah.
But it's when you put a big spaceship next to people or a big worm
Right.
next to, it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
huge, you know?
There's the other part near the end where the worm kind of
Just looks at him, I guess.
yeah. Well, I
Doesn't
kind
look
of feel like the worm is like recognizing who he is and the role that he plays. That's kind of the sense I got because it didn't.
You know what? That will tie into my lens
okay.
with
Then I
nature and the
then I
worm
won't
being
say
connected
anymore.
together. But I think,
Yeah, because he is ultimately the guy.
well, is he though?
Or is he?
We'll put a pin in
Yeah,
that because
spoilers.
does he have?
You can cut that.
No, this movie addresses it too. Does Paul have control over his own destiny?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, destiny and being the guy, yeah.
because
That's
it's
coming up in philosophy too. So
and
let me
it's yeah. Anyway, it's all. This movie is rich in philosophy.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's one of the many interwoven things.
This movie came out. There's a funny meme I saw because Oscar Isaac, who plays his dad, who like once again, to most of the I don't think there's an actor doing a bad job, but it's like you just get a whole sense of who this guy is
Oh, yeah.
and why people respect him,
Yeah.
just how he presents himself and stuff.
Because yes. And that's from the book.
Yeah,
Like the whole harvester. I don't care about the spice, get the people off. Yeah, that's just like, this is a great man.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a great line, and it says, "A great man doesn't seek to lead. He's called to it, and he answers. And if your answer is no, you'd still be everything you ever needed to be,
Yeah.
my son." Which is great because at the core of the space opera movie, it's a father and son movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a funny meme I saw where it was a picture of that, a screenshot of that line compared to the Rise of Skywalker. Somehow Palpatine's returned. It's like,
Right. And I didn't really want to compare this movie to Star Wars, but
it's like I said, inevitable because they are connected.
right. Much as I love, the original three, this is a superior film in every way I can think of.
Yeah, it does help, like the sheer amount of budget and technology that helps
Yeah, for
elevate
sure.
it.
CGI is really
we did
good.
have a Dune back in the 80s.
Yeah, which was not
not good at all.
but, and I don't think there's a lot of dialogue in any of these scenes, but like just the visual storytelling, I've never really experienced that before that I remember in any of the movies that we've watched for this. But like the Reverend Mother scene at the start where he's going through all of this stuff, there's not much dialogue, but we get so much of a sense of the political force and the religious force of this woman, his mother, who is absolutely, completely invested in him, is willing to turn him over to potential death because of the power of the religious beliefs behind who Paul may or may not be. It's a great scene. The hunter-seeker scene.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any words in that. But like the telling of who Paul is and all of his skill sets and his abilities and his self-mastery,
Yeah.
he just tells it all while he's watching this little bug fly around and then he catches it to save his mom. That's magnificent storytelling.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Or even like the fact that Paul needs to be a really great fighter, where he wins that duel at the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this guy was trained by Duncan, Idaho.
Right.
And we see Duncan, Idaho fighting. Like, oh, yeah.
50 guys or however many were there.
If this guy trained Paul, it makes sense that Paul, as skinny and young as he is, could
Yeah.
still, like, know how to fight.
Yeah,
basically.
for sure.
It is funny to compare, like, directly the two Dune versions. Like, the shield thing is so well done here. And, like, it sounds cool. It looks cool.
Yeah.
But, like, the visual of red and blue shield, and, like, this is how it works, obviously. But compared to like the old one, it looks like cube people.
Yeah.
And it just was so.
But, I mean, in fairness, that was 40 years ago, and the technology. I mean, David Lynch is, I guess, a great filmmaker. I don't.
I guess.
I haven't really seen anything that I liked of his, but.
But, like, it's just so sleek, I guess, is
Yeah.
a great way to put how you understand these are how the shields work.
Yep.
This is how everything works.
Yeah.
It just.
Aside from the first maybe 15 minutes, there isn't any direct exposition.
Yeah.
We've got.
Or even like when he's reading or watching like the documentaries, it's stuff we need to know, but it doesn't feel heavy because the character
of,
learning
yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah. I think for like the sheer scope and emotional power of a scene, like the Harkonnen invasion of the Atreides where they're at was like I've felt that. And I don't usually feel the despair of characters, but I felt the despair of like they're just got here. They're trying to set things up. Their guns are failing. Their ships are exploding. Everything is going wrong. Boom, explosions of fire. Like that is just a masterpiece of capturing what it would feel like to be in complete despair. Total, like you want to hope, but there's just no way to hope.
Yeah. Or even if you're not familiar with the book or what would happen, you just know there's no way they're gonna get out of this. And I think what makes it work is Duke Atreides. He knows he's been screwed over, but he still does it because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. He's still trying to honor, like, being called to do something. Yeah. And then everything's not working. And then they're gathering this whole army. Like, there's no way these guys are going to get out of it. Yeah. And it's, even if you've seen it or if you've read the book, it still is effective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very effective.
Also, it's just cool looking. There is a moment, I don't know if it's ever been done before, where like a bomb slowly falls on a ship, slowly makes its way through the force field, explodes, and the explosion's in the force field. That's so cool. Oh man. Yeah. Good. And like it gives you enough things that makes you root for it. Like Duncan Idaho, he's coming out, he kills these guys, and then there are still guys there, and he just says, I don't know what he says. It's like, "Are you next?" And they like back away. Yeah. So he just walks into like the
ornithopter.
Yeah. It's like, that's awesome. Yeah. So it gives you enough fanboy things, even if it's clearly like distinct in space science fiction action, but still like there's enough though to make you excited.
Well, another thing that I thought they pulled off really well was I don't know what to call it, but the transfer of authority from Jessica to Paul. It's very subtly done here. Like in the beginning, she is obviously the one. Like, she's in charge. She's the parent. She's telling Paul, use your voice and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's very subtly shifts throughout part one so that by the end, they're at the very least on equal. Mm-hmm. If not, Paul is now the authority figure. Yeah. And his mother is kind of under him or serving him or something like that. That was really well done.
Yeah, because she's like, we got to get off world.
And he's like, no,
that's not what we're doing.
We were sent here. We're going to be here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. The voice was well done. Like, I didn't like the Lynch, how he did the voice.
I don't even remember it, if I'm being honest. And I watched it not crazy long ago.
Oh, well, I thought they did a great job with it here. And just setting it up. We don't ever explain what it is. We don't ever, but we can see what it does, and we can see how you would acquire it, and we can see that Paul doesn't have it quite yet. Yeah. Like everything is.
You're right. Yeah. Like the movie does such a great job. Like he sits down for breakfast. Use the voice. Yeah. All right, the voice, and then something about making people do stuff. Right. So what it needs to happen in the movie, we've already understand what it is. And she's all like, your pitch wasn't right. Yeah. She's getting mad at him for not even doing it right type of thing. And one of the guys is deaf, so it wouldn't even work on him anyway. Right. So it makes the tension heighten. Like, oh, he's about to use the voice. Yeah. But one of them's, it just sets the table for things like that.
Seeding.
Yeah. It's weird to say this, but something it's repeating what we've already said, but in a different, more specific way where, like, the Duke is, at this point, he's been paralyzed and all these things. But the fact that the Harkonians, they're in, like, the castle or, like, the palace or whatever, and they've, like, stripped him naked, like, that sends a message that how, like, literally worried they are about him.
Right.
Yeah, it's partially to humiliate him, yeah. But I also think we literally can't give him anything.
Yeah.
And they still need to be worried about him.
Yeah.
That's right. I love that he takes down a whole room of guys.
Yeah.
And not the Baron, but the Baron still put a force field on. He couldn't have known there was a poison tooth.
Right, but he's just so afraid of him.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this movie does so much with seemingly so little.
Yep.
It's how it tells its story and what it does.
This is visual storytelling at its finest.
Exactly. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I'm happy you liked it, cause
I'm happy I liked it too.
Yeah, and I think you'll like the next one too. It's it's the same, more of the same, more. Yeah. Well, you'll see.
So, I used to be a computer gamer.
Nice.
Like a long time ago, before my wife broke me of that. One of my very favorite computer games of all time was a Dune game called Dune 2000.
Yeah.
Came out in the year 2000. And as I was watching this movie, I'm fairly certain that whoever did the visuals for this loved that game and played that game. Because just about everything in this movie, like as far as like the way that Arrakis looks, the way the worms look, the way even the ornithopters and the buildings look, are almost directly out of that game, which is super cool to me.
What do you do in the game? Is it like
it's a StarCraft kind of game.
Oh, interesting.
Where you're like you play as the Atreides or the Harkonnen or the Ordos, and you're trying to conquer Dune and defeat the other guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a great game. If that is what happened, that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
That level of, okay, how can we do this the best possible way that we can? Let's play through this game. Let's watch this. Let's do this. Like even the color of the spice is the same color as it is in the game. I went and downloaded it to make sure that I was remembering it right, and it's.
Did you play it like over the weekend or something?
I played one of the campaigns. Yeah.
That's cool. Does it hold up at all, or?
I mean, as far as a strategy game, yes.
Cool.
As far as like a visual awesomeness of video gaming, no, not at all. But
I don't know.
It's a great game.
Well, I think the thing about Dune though is it's been loved so much. Like it's like that video game. There's also I know a board game that is relatively popular even before this movie came out and stuff. And I know or you probably definitely know the fact that all we've had is that one movie. And there was a mini-series, but we don't...
Oh, was there?
There was in the early 2000s, I think. But most people don't know about it. Yeah, probably for good reason, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
But
I do have the game.
Dune is just... It's existed all this time and has enough fans. I think that this is like a successful payoff for all the love Dune has had all this time, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
I know Denis Villeneuve is doing his 3... There's a good chance someone else will pick up after that and take
you
it
could
on.
run it for a long, long time.
There's already a TV show.
Thanks to Herbert's kid.
Yeah. It's like the long game is finally paying off. All the 20 Dune books I wrote.
Yeah. Which I haven't read any of his books.
I don't know if
I didn't even finish the ones that Frank Herbert wrote.
Yeah. But there's already on HBO, there's a TV show. It's I think about the Bene Gesserits before this movie has happened,
cool.
And I haven't watched it.
That would be his son.
It does feel like they're trying to capture some Game of Thrones-esque show.
Well, so his son went back into Frank Herbert's notes. So the comparison to Tolkien is not a terrible comparison because Frank Herbert did. Like Tolkien did, this massive world building behind the scene that doesn't... I mean, it plays in and we get hints in Dune, but his son took all of that and basically made the books out of his father's notes. And so one of the books is basically the origin. Yeah, they're all kind of... I haven't, like I said, I haven't read them, but I know they're called the Bene Gesserit of Dune, the Worms of Dune, whoever else of Dune. The Fremen of Dune is one of them. And so it's a lot of the back stuff. And so that's probably where that HBO series comes
Getting
from.
it. All right. I don't know how well it's done or whatever, but it, you know.
I might check it out.
We will be remiss if we didn't mention the music. The music is amazing. It won an Oscar. I think Hans Zimmer's first, if I'm not mistaken. And he was like in Germany during the ceremony, so he accepted it like the next day, like in a bathrobe or something.
Oh, wow.
But like he's, you know, Hans Zimmer's the other big name in movie scores, basically.
I bought the soundtrack halfway through watching the movie.
It's so good.
Right after the Bene Gesserit scene. Like the Bene Gesserit scene with the woman that's like, oh, in the background.
Like the wailing.
Obviously not going to do that, but it so perfectly complements what's going on and enhances what's going on. This is just like anyone that wants to make film. This is your textbook.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think.
Like it's really, because almost never does the music take a part in the telling of the story. Yeah. I mean, we've got even like iconic stuff like the Jurassic Park theme song. I mean, it's majestic and beautiful and memorable, but I don't feel like it plays a role in cementing what's going on in the film for me. The only exception I can think of is the Imperial March from Empire. Is it Return of the Jedi or Empire? It's in Empire. That definitely takes a part of the storytelling, because we've got this guy in black marching down the thing, and that's scary, but the Imperial March like hammers that into us. This is the scary guy.
I don't know if I agree with that, actually.
Disagree. Go for
I think music, like I even said this to my film class today, I think half the reason movies are good sometimes is because of music. Maybe. We don't really realize it. Even Jurassic Park, it's got the theme, but throughout the whole movie there's music going, that heightens everything.
Like, I agree that music is a maker or breaker of films. Yeah. I just don't remember ever seeing, at least in the recent past, seeing a film where the music was so much a part of the telling of the story it is here. I will say recently that is an annoying trend where the music's kind of more either like atmospheric or in the background.
That was a huge problem with a lot of Marvel movies.
I was actually going to say that exact thing.
Yeah. I think there are examples, especially I think Guardians of the Galaxy stand out and the Avengers films have distinct themes. But that was a huge downfall for a lot of Marvel movies. Yeah. It's like, how come Captain America or Iron Man don't have distinct themes that you could hum, Like the essential nature of the song in the story that's being told on the screen is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if we disagree, but I don't feel like that films achieve that level of interweaving of all the things that are going on the screen, all the dialogue and the music for an entire movie length of storytelling. I just saw a brand new movie in theaters, the new Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another. But the music is, and a movie that just came out, the music is part of the reason, a huge reason why so much of that movie works. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, we can disagree for sure. But I think we can agree that the music plays an intricate part in making this storytelling experience like amazing. The Dune experience. Yeah, there's a quote I love a lot from Steven Spielberg said this about John Williams specifically. He said, "Without John Williams, bikes don't really fly, nor do brooms in Quidditch matches, nor do men in red capes. There is no force. Dinosaurs do not walk the earth. We do not wonder. We do not weep. We do not believe." Like, this movie, great music, won an Oscar for it, but I think part of the reason it's so successful, and most movies that are successful, is because music is there. Yeah, I would not disagree. So, like, Elliot and E.T. flying scene, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. The music and what's going on the screen can't be separated. Yeah. Like, the story of what's going on is the music is essential to the story. Yeah. Otherwise, we just have this weird bike thing going by the moon. I don't like there's a lot of amazing music in movies. But what I'm talking about is that the E.T. thing, like, or the Bene Gesserit scene here, where if you take the music out and put any other music in there, I mean, we'd have the atmosphere and whatever, but we would be missing a crucial part of the story that's being told.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So the Imperial March is another great example of that, because if we take that out and put some other thing in there, I mean, I'm sure it would be fine, but the Imperial March captures the depth of Darth Vader's power and the darkness of his power in a way that, like, we could talk about how evil Darth Vader is for a year, and it wouldn't be as effective as that minute or however long it is of the Imperial March. Love it. Great music.
All the stuff working together well in this movie.
Yep, I agree.
All right. One last thing I just wanted to highlight. So it's like, oh, Paul flies into this sandstorm. He's going to die. Like, oh, is it a cop-out? He survives, blah, blah, blah. I can see someone being like, that's just a movie thing. The only reason he survives is because he sees the vision with his powers. Like, just go with the flow. It says, we must move with the process. We must let go and join it. The only reason he survived is because he stopped doing anything. Sometimes you get movies where it's like they just survived just because.
Then they survived.
You know, exactly. There is a specific story reason why he survived.
Well, even beyond that, there's a religious reason within this story. So the Fremen are very Taoist or Buddhist in their approach to living on this essentially unlive-onable planet. And that whole go with the flow thing is very Taoist. It's very like, if you're stuck in a river and you're trying to be the rock that stays there, you are eventually going to fail. But if you go with the flow of the river, you will get to where the river wants you to go. And so that's the first moment of, I think, Paul's awakening as a potential future Fremen leader, is that he's able to and willing to let go of all of his intellectual and even physical training for how do I deal with this situation, and just allow Dune to guide his path. It's beyond not a flaw in the film. It's a crucial, essential moment for who Paul is going to become. And I thought they did it fantastically.
It's because he's part Bene Gesserit, and isn't he also part Mentat or whatever? They have those. There's the one guy who's. So I've learned all this.
A lot of stuff.
I've learned about a lot of secondhand, but like Dune, there's no weapons. Asterisk, because they got rid of most weapons because of the past, and so it was like they got rid of technology too. So people became the computers, and there's that one guy with the little umbrella, and he's like, this is the number of. He's like a computer brain, and so isn't Paul computer brain guy and Bene Gesserit mixed together?
Maybe.
Isn't that part of it?
Maybe.
I don't remember the book specifically, but that's part of why he could unlock things. Like when he gets the spice, things were unlocked. He can dream about the future.
He's a lot of things.
He can dream about the future already, but with spice, he can see it a lot better now. That's why he yells at his mom like, "You made me a freak!"
Oh, that scene. Oh man, there's so many scenes that are so good.
Okay, so here's why Dune is extra special. It starts here, but it continues into the second half too. But we all know the hero's journey, the into the unknown ordeal, whatever. The thing that makes Dune fun, and this movie plays with, it's the characters. I've basically said, Paul, you are going to be the hero in the hero's journey that we have already set up for thousands of years. And he's like, I don't want to be the hero. Doesn't matter, Paul. This is your destiny, basically. I just wanted to shout out another series that does this, or that plays with hero's journey expectations, is Mistborn. Mistborn does some things here.
Yes.
But what's funny about the Star Wars comparison is A New Hope is clearly cut and dry,
Yep, check the
admittedly
box.
like
Yeah.
hero's journey on purpose.
Yep.
But Dune is interesting because it's like, yeah, Paul is being forced to do that.
Right.
And that's where like one of the, I guess, a big philosophy question comes. It's like, does he have any say at this point anymore?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Were you and like
Yeah, the free will question.
right? You know, even like the Bene Gesserit woman is like, you were told to have a daughter, but you had a
Right.
son. You're messing
You
up the
thought you could
plan.
make the Quetzalcoatl.
And she's even like, even if you fail or you die, we have other plans in other places.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Right. And so that's what I was going to bring up is even if anytime that anyone says even if, that means fate is not locked in.
Yeah.
Even if this. And so the whole time Paul and his mother and other players in this, we get the sense that there's this big machinery of fate moving.
Yeah.
But, or even if, to borrow that phrasing from the Bene Gesserit. So I think there are still choices to be made. So yes, I still think in the context of what has been set up, he's choosing these things. Like the fight with the Fremen when they very first meet them, like he had an option there. He saw the vision, and he could have allowed the guy to kill him and been done. That's what he saw in the vision. But then he said, but for the Quetzalcoatl to arise, you need to do this.
Yeah.
So he could have chosen, but he chose to follow the, maybe, so we get this sense of Paul. I mean, he's a young kid. He's still a teenager. I don't remember, but he's not a mature man. He's still got all the teenagery things going on. You have to think that the idea that I am this guy that has been prophesied for thousands of years is me has to be, I mean, frightening, sure, but maybe there's a little, maybe that's cool. I'm gonna go down this road a little ways and see what happens.
But like, what's crazy is you see the big vision, you see this big war happening and stuff, and like he's sitting like on this plane, and he's like, "People will fight wars in my name."
Yeah.
Like, and it's like obviously overwhelming for a teenager, but it's not his fault. That's happening.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, I guess, but
because ultimately, so that's I think the question. Because if it was all fate, this would not be as compelling of a book.
right.
We have to have the idea that Jessica made the choice to have a male child instead of female
Because she
child.
loved
Right, she loved
Duke Leto,
Leto and wanted him to have whatever, right? That wasn't fated. And we know that because the Reverend Mother was pissed when she showed up. And so we know that free will exists. And so that's what I think makes Paul one of the great protagonists / antagonists / whatever he is.
Yeah.
Is that fact that he's not destined to become. It's an option that he can make choices that will lead him toward or away, just like I think, okay, I'm going to reveal my philosophical stance, just like the rest of us. We could potentially see a vision of a possible future where this and this happens, but we still have to make the choices that will get us there if that's what we want. And I feel like that's what Paul is. Because, I mean, Zendaya obviously is, whatever, beautiful, whatever, but at any point, he can make some mistake. And oh man, there's another thing that I love about this is the culture, like the culture thing. Like the Fremen culture is so different from the Atreides culture, which is so different from the Harkonnen culture. So I love the moment where he like spits on the table and everyone's like freaking out and they're going to kill him. He's like, no, wait.
Thank you for sharing your water.
Thank you for sharing your water. But like later when he's in the fight, like there are multiple moments where he makes a cultural mistake.
He's like, is he toying with
me? Any of those moments could have been the last moment. If Paul hadn't made the specific choices that changed it. He didn't want to kill that guy.
But
He wanted the guy to live, but it became apparent that in the culture, if he wanted to live and his mother to live, he had to.
Yeah.
And so that's when he did. So, yeah, I think... What do you think? I talked a lot. What do you think about the free will versus destiny in Dune?
Okay, so I wanted to bring a point up because Freeman, it's mentioned that the Bene Gesserit have been there planting seeds, basically. Right. So I thought of... So a lot of people, like all the Freeman already are like, is this the guy? And some of them believe already. Some of them don't believe at all. You know, someone says... there's like one of the random guys says, do you believe?
Too young.
Or something like that. So I guess if belief is manufactured, which it has been in this story, does it lose truth? Or does belief itself, or does belief create truth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. That's a great question.
Because you know where Dune's going.
Yeah.
With the book, at least.
Yeah.
And the sequels and stuff. But, like, I don't know. You know? Like...
That's a great question.
Because in a way, you can kind of peel back in real life just any belief or any religion even. It's like manufactured belief. Can it become belief, I guess?
Or truth?
Yeah. I don't even know.
Oh.
That's a question for you,
no,
I guess.
That's a great question. It depends on what you mean by truth.
Yes. There's a philosopher answer.
Well, I mean, it does. Because if you mean truth in like the this is true no matter what sense, like capital T truth, no, I would say no. But I would say just about every aspect of our history would suggest that yes, you can manufacture little t truths to serve any purpose you want.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can do it anywhere. Like the American Revolution, they manufactured, but really, if you look at what happened leading up to the revolution, there really wasn't anything terrible going on. It's just you guys need to pay taxes to help us support you guys. I mean, that's the same thing we do today, and we're not all pissed off and revolutionary about it. It wasn't
because enough people said that it was a problem.
Yes, enough people said we're being oppressed by the dictator in Great Britain. He doesn't know what's up. We know what's up. Whatever. They manufactured the truth that led to the rebellion. Well, but you can look at just about anyone that rises to power rises because they get people to accept their version or their vision of truth.
Okay, all right. See, that's why we have you on the... That's why we keep you around.
But I mean...
You're right.
Even good people, quote unquote, do that. Like everybody does it, and that's rhetoric. That's what we use language for, is to convince other people to see our version of truth. Does that mean that there isn't an ultimate truth? I don't think that that's what that means. I think there is ultimate truth. Truth that is true no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think that our relationship to it is not a solid relationship.
Yeah.
Because we can't see it. All we can see is our limited scope. The people who end up ruling, I will say this, the reason they end up ruling is because they use rhetoric to create a certain version of truth that people buy into, and that becomes little r reality for the people that live under that. So yeah, I think the Bene Gesserit's absolutely made truth.
I love that way of looking at it. Because
it's kind of scary way of looking at it if you're not a critical thinker.
Right, because in the hypothetical dystopian reality, which sometimes feels closer to reality, you just need someone with a loud voice or enough listeners to say,
it's true.
What if that isn't as good as we think it is?
Yep.
Because Hitler is the easiest example because we're familiar with history.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all of a sudden Jews need to be thrown in camps. It was by degree. You know, it was, hey, maybe you shouldn't marry someone who's Jewish, or maybe let's have them not have their stores open on specific days.
Sure.
You know, stuff like that.
Yep.
Slowly.
Or like in U.S. history, what happened to the Native Americans? That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Because by all accounts, the initial contact of Europeans with the Native Americans was by and large positive. But by degrees, the European settlers had to manufacture this quote-unquote truth about Native Americans, that they were savages, that they bloodthirsty, that they just wanted to kill and destroy and whatever, which therefore allowed the European settlers to do what they did.
Yeah.
Same thing with African slaves. Like they had to manufacture this idea that these people aren't people. But that had to happen before we could say, yes, it's okay for us to enslave these people and force them to serve. And like, you can look at any atrocity, but you can also look at any like great social movement that's happened. It all comes back to somebody or some group of somebody's using language to manufacture a certain way of viewing truth that then leads to change.
Yeah.
Like Martin Luther King is a great example of a positive one. Like, he manufactured like the I Have a Dream speech. That's all truth making. Yeah. That whole speech and all of the speeches that I'm aware of his are all truth making. That's what he's doing. And enough people believed his version of truth that the world changed. So I tell my students, rhetoric is the superpower. And I absolutely believe that. The ability to use language to get what you want is the ultimate power. So beware.
So, yeah, even though...
Think critically.
It's easy to be discouraged when you're like, yeah, but a lot of people aren't thinking critically. Yeah. And I'm just one voice or whatever.
In your sphere.
Because, like, a lot of movies do the chosen one thing. In fact, it's a problem sometimes if you just throw it in there. This one feels maybe the most earned.
Yeah.
You know, like even Star Wars, the prequels, where did the chosen one prophecy even come from? I don't even know. As someone who knows a stupid amount of Star Wars stuff, where did that prophecy come from? I don't know.
Right. And we've already talked about the superiority of Dune to
but
Star Wars,
there was an answer, though.
Here there is.
Here there is the subtle seedings and whisperings of the Bene Gesserit for generations.
Yep.
There will be a chosen one.
Yep.
And now it's like, is it Paul? And because Paul's being told it is him.
Yeah. By various sources.
And you're right. He has to now choose. He has to make that choice.
Yep.
Whether he wants to or not, people are saying that's what the truth is.
Yep.
Anyway, here's a fun fact for you.
Hit me.
Do you know Rockefeller Skank by Fatboy Slim?
Not even remote.
There's the song, by British hip-hop DJ Fatboy Slim.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a British hip-hop DJ named Fatboy Slim. Oh, there you go. Anyhow, what about it?
Hold on. In the famous song from 1998, Rockefeller Skank, it's just a mixture of...
How is that a famous song?
It is.
I've never heard
you
of it.
You gotta watch the music video. The music video is incredible. Anyway, there's a iconic moment that says... I'm trying to find the actual words. Most of it, like 90% of the lyrics, is right about now, the funk soul brother. Check it out now, the funk soul brother. You don't know this?
Wow, that sounds like a masterpiece. I assume there's like a boom, boom, boom in the background.
I will show you the music video. You gotta see it, Deets.
Anyhow, what's the point?
The point of all of this. Yeah, I'm trying to find...
Laboring.
I know. I'm drawing it out, and it's not going to be worth the wait because I'm trying to find the specific line. Anyway, the point is, there's a part in the song, the Fatboy Slim song that we all are familiar with, that goes, you got to walk without the rhythm so it won't attract the worm. It's from Dune.
Yeah.
Walk without the rhythm so it won't attract the worm. It's just a Dune reference in the middle of...
That's a super famous song by Fatty Boy, whatever, Slimmy.
Man, was that worth
Slim,
it?
Fat Boy.
Go watch the music video.
Fat Boy Slim.
If you've never seen the rock.
Is there some David Lynch outtake or something in it?
No.
Oh.
Maybe it's from the movie. I don't know. It's actually, I think it is from the David Lynch film, that line that just gets remixed into it.
Oh, okay.
That was worth it. All right, so Oh, I have another question that I found. This doesn't come from me, but I want to ask it to you. Can an empire ever be just, or is it inherently parasitical? Can there ever be a just empire?
Version of that question that I ask in my philosophy class is how should society be organized, which
Yeah.
is a little bit bigger than the question that you're asking.
We're also kind of talking about that in my class because we're doing Lord of the Flies,
Yeah.
about the fall of a civilization.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess I can answer it like this. Without having a supreme ruler that is completely benevolent, perfectly, one might say, perfectly benevolent, I don't think that there is the possibility of an empire being just.
I think that's fair. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Isn't that the phrase?
That is the phrase.
What's funny, as in not funny, haha, but I guess ironic, is Duke Leto was the best chance at that.
He was,
for
yeah.
Dune, and it's immediately killed.
Yep.
In fact, the person in charge of the trade-off, what's her name? The doctor. I forget her
I
name.
could have told you if you didn't ask.
She's like surprised by how just
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, and that was another part of that scene where he's like, "I don't care about the spice, save the man." You could see how that like kind of shocked her. This is actually a good man,
Yeah.
and I think that's when her deal with the emperor starts splitting in her mind,
Yeah.
and she decides ultimately to help Paul and his mom.
And they send the special armed forces to go.
Sarukar.
And man, the way they float is so cool.
Yeah.
It could have been silly or goofy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's clearly strings. It just looks so cool somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how. You know what I mean?
It's Dune.
But because it's Dune. Okay, here's my... I found a new lens.
Okay.
I've stumbled in the last few in a way, which is kind of fun for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how many lenses could there
Called
be?
learning.
There is a lens called eco-critical lens.
Oh yes.
Deals with looking at ecology, the study of like life and
How this impacts that. Yeah.
how life affects other life type of thing. It also deals with the relationship of humans and the natural world. So
That's a fun lens for Dune.
eco-critical lens. A lot of this book, because it's I think it clearly he had one or two things to say about like the environment and man's role in the environment. You can clearly see mankind cannot control nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I meant, like I said it forever ago about the worms coming in. The worm looks at Paul.
Yeah.
The worm and Dune are intricately connected to be nature, basically.
Right.
In fact, he even names himself after the mouse. He's got the Dune name for mouse it becomes his name.
Yeah.
Doesn't that happen in this movie?
Not in this movie.
Oh, well, eventually they ask him,
Spoilers.
what do you want to be called? I want to be called the name of that mouse. Dune represents nature. We can't control nature. Nature will kill you if you try to control it.
Yeah.
And I think there's clear warnings about attempting to do so. And that's why the Freemen survive, is because they're not trying to control the nature, they're trying to use the nature.
They're even, I would say it's even less than that.
Yeah.
They move with the nature.
Yeah, the Taoism you were talking about.
Taoism. Yeah.
Taoism. So like the film is reinforcing this theme because a lot of the big shots, even though you get a lot of spaceship shots and stuff, but you see how tiny people are compared to like nature, basically. Yeah. I think it's reinforcing the idea that we can't control this. It's too much. It's too big. You can, Dune's kind of being colonized. They're trying to... Is it destroying the planet?
Well, like they're basically nothing.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense of the whole planet and the, like you're saying, the ecosystem. And so, yeah, for them to think that they can, dominate or master this planet from the novel sense is kind of laughable.
Yeah.
But
that's a good point. So maybe like the damaging or destroying the planet, that's not really happening.
Well, right. So the taking of the spice is the only thing that they're doing that is potentially threatening the ecosystem, because
Yeah.
the spice is an intricate part of, I don't know if we will get that in the movie at all, but it's an intricate part of the system of life on Arrakis.
Mhm.
And so they're taking that out of the system, which is, I mean, if we're looking for a way they're disrupting it, that would be the way,
Yeah.
is the removing of the spice.
And like there's clear, I think, historical, like, you know, even the search for gold and stuff in America.
Or
was-
the rape of Africa.
right.
Yeah.
Or even like not too far away from where we live in real life right now, the mountain I got my first deer on is just gone because it's been mined away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like there's
That's
just
kinda
a
crazy.
big giant hole where a mountain used to be.
Wow.
And that's so stuff
That's
like
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy and kind of frustrating.
Part of your childhood is gone.
Yeah, and it's weird to see how big like the mining thing has been. Yeah, it would be easy to be extremely mad about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
it's
sure.
frustrating, but I'm not gonna go like chain myself to like a fence. You
To a
know.
rock or something.
Anyway, so I guess if you look at the Freeman versus how the other people react to Arrakis, if you work with nature, you can survive and flourish.
Yeah.
But if you are trying to exploit nature, you could meet your own destruction. That's kind of that's what
absolutely.
the eco-critical lens might be saying.
And that is perfect for Dune. Yeah. It does make a pretty good argument for the Taoist way of life, although, I mean, I feel like this film also does a great job of capturing the asceticism of a Taoist lifestyle, like
You'd have to give up a lot, basically.
the bare bonesy kind of a life that you would have to live in order to live according to a Taoist principles.
Yeah.
But the trade-off is that they have this perfectly structured system that doesn't have any waste. It doesn't have there's no point at which they're not content with where they're at and who they're with. It's this perfect fluid system that, like, Jameis, I think, is the name of the guy that Paul kills.
Mhm.
That Jameis is the only person outside of that system, and he does what he does because he doesn't want the system messed up.
Yeah.
But that's not a Taoist choice. And so, I mean, if we're taking a Taoist reading of this whole thing, that's why he died, because he went from being this leaf floating through the stream of Dune to, no, I'm going to be a rock. This is not, I don't accept this.
Mhm.
And the flow of the river just overwhelms him. And so, from an eco-critical perspective, Jameis is our touchstone guy. He illustrates what happens when we try to go against the flow of nature.
Yeah.
In a bigger perspective, all of the houses that are mining the spice on Dune illustrate that as well, because the mining of spice is a very dangerous
Yeah.
occupation.
You could get eaten by a sandworm.
Right. And or just the desert itself,
Yeah.
with the storms and whatever.
It
And
says
so-
you'll die in hours if you're out in the sun.
you're like gone in hours in the sun. The sun or the wind will eat. Like if you're in a windstorm, you're down to bones in minutes.
Yeah.
And so the Fremen work with that, and they use the storms. They work with the worms, and they use the spice and whatever. Whereas all of the other houses are just like, I'm imposing my will. And Dune's like, well, actually, no, you're not. We're
Yeah.
going to eat this. We're going to destroy this. And so the Harkonnen on Dune are this constant battle against nature
Yeah.
that they can't win. They will it's not a winnable battle.
There's like that one moment after he's been poisoned where the Baron's like in like that gross oil tub. He's like, I only have one thing, profit.
Yeah.
And that's all he cares about,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. So I think that's a great lens for Dune.
Yeah, eco-critical lens.
Yeah. That's cool. I just always love when you bring in new ways of looking at things
Well-
that I'd never considered before. It's
Well-
always fun.
I know, but now I'm like, am I getting run out of lenses now?
Well, but there's always new ways to use the lenses.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, you've come up with like a dozen lenses now. We could read Dune through any of those lenses and see different things.
Yeah, that's all like
Dune
film theory is. What is it? Post-colonial or Marxist or whatever.
Dune's rich enough for that.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I think it just works.
Yeah.
What was it your student teacher was saying? How his version of the book has an afterword by the son of the author, and it's like, you can read it at different parts in your life, and it'll be different for you.
Yep.
How most good books are, I think.
Probably.
And good movies too.
Yeah. I'm a huge fanboy of the novel.
Yeah. I'm excited for you to watch part 2.
I actually am too now. So.
There's a lot of great stuff in that movie. I'm excited to rewatch it.
Cool. I'm excited that we don't have to watch Harry Potter this week. That's mostly what I'm excited about. But
yeah. Dune is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad we have like a director that's like a true auteur that like helm these movies too.
Yeah.
And because you get the sense of like listening to interviews with the actors and stuff, they like respect Denis Villeneuve and they like his work and stuff. Even like he's got a small role in this movie. The Baron's nephew is Dave Bautista, who Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. Even though he's got a small role, he does a lot with it.
Yeah.
And Dave Bautista in an interview said that Denis Villeneuve told him, like, you're a good actor. I trust your instincts. And that was the first time anyone's ever said that to him, basically.
Cool.
And it's just, even though like he's this big, beefy guy, he just comes in and goes, how can you let them take everything from us? It's like, all right, this guy's got anger issues. Yeah. He's got all these things.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much exciting things that comes in part 2. And I read the book of Dune. I was telling this to you earlier. After I saw this movie. And so the first half of the book, I'm like, yeah, most of this is in the movie. Right. I understand what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And then the second half starts. I'm like, there's a lot of new characters all of a sudden. Yeah. Like, it does feel like a natural stopping point or starting point where you get introduced to all the Freemen that Paul's about to meet and all the people on the barren planet that we're about to meet, all that stuff.
Good.
Yeah. It's super exciting. Which is funny why in the David Lynch film, almost like 40 minutes of that movie is like this movie. Like, get to Arrakis and stuff, and then they like speed run through so much of that original movie.
It's terrible.
And it'll make more sense when you watch the part 2. It makes that old Lynch film better because now we have the good version. But if you want the silly, weird version from the 80s, you can enjoy that independently now.
I don't really understand that perspective on film.
Yeah.
If you have the perfect film, why would you want to watch the flawed version?
See,
so that's where we are fundamentally different as movie lovers.
I don't know. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah.
And like even Zendaya in this movie, she's one of like the top billed actors. She's barely in this movie.
Right.
It's essentially like someone compared it to like a fragrant commercial. Just her like kind of walking in sand. But I will say this, I think she is more interesting in the film than the book. But you'll see, and you'll either agree or disagree when you watch it. But I'm excited for you. A lot of good stuff coming.
Well, thank you for listening once again.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've added to your enjoyment of this just pretty remarkable movie.
It's a miracle. It's so good, I think.
Yeah.
Like was it last week we talked about movie directors not being able to have total control of film?
Yeah.
This feels like a director who has a specific vision, and they're just letting him do it, basically.
Yep.
It's so good.
I don't know if I would turn that kind of power over to just any director, but
right.
He's very clearly got the chops to do it. So yeah.
It's good. I'm excited. And now, when Dune 3 comes out next year, you can go see it.
Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. We do love you. Our discussion of truth just kind of reemphasizes just how important I feel it is that we become able to critically analyze the voices in the world around us. More so now than ever. I mean, there are so many voices. And if we don't or aren't able to pick out like their perspectives on truth and evaluate them against our own, it's very easy to be to buy into their charisma or to buy into the persuasiveness of how they use language or whatever. And so, yeah, I think this film and our discussion of it makes visible how important it is to be critical participants in the political and citizen responsibilities that we have, whatever country you're in.
It's a little scary.
It's a lot scary.
Well, it's a lot scary.
For me, that's why I'm a teacher, and that's why I teach what I teach, is to
prepare students to
go out and not be robots and not be written and not be programmed to think certain ways, but to be able to decide for themselves what is truth and what will you fight for and what will you accept as part of who you are and what will you reject. I think we don't, as a rule, learn that ever. I didn't. I had to learn it by teaching myself how to do it. And so I think our system doesn't teach us how to do that on purpose. I'll just leave it at that.
It sounds tinfoil hatty, but the mysterious system. It's also social media. You didn't think we were going to bring it up this episode, but there's part of that's a huge problem too about it.
Oh yeah, the influencers are aptly named.
Anyway, but our listeners, if you're listening to this, you're smarter than that. Well, we love you.
We do love you. Thanks
you
for listening.
Bye.